She looked at me like I was dirt the second I stepped inside. I wasn't dressed fancy, just jeans, a hoodie, sneakers a little worn at the toes. But I was clean, presentable, and polite. Still, she didn't hide it. That twist of her mouth, that little C as I walked past the first aisle, like I was already a problem. I'd seen it before. You learn to clock it early when you grow up black and quiet. The way eyes follow you in certain stores. The way people tense when you touch anything. I was looking for light bulbs. That's it. My new place had awful lighting, and I figured I'd stop by the old hardware store on Main. I hadn't been in that part of town in a while. Years, maybe. But something about the chipped green sign made me nostalgic. I used to come here with my granddad. He'd fix everything himself. We'd walk these same aisles. I remember how the store smelled like sawdust and oil. That smell was still there. So were the creaky floorboards. But the people? Different. The woman behind the register had a tight blonde ponytail and the kind of fake nice voice you hear in bad commercials. She watched me walk, watched me stop in front of the paint samples, watched me grab a two-pack of LED bulbs, and when I headed toward the counter, she stepped out from behind it, planted herself in front of me like a guard dog. "Can I help you with something?" she asked too sharply. I held up the bulbs. "Just these." She didn't move. "You sure you don't need help finding anything else?" Her tone wasn't helpful. It was warning. I nodded slowly. "No, I'm good." She narrowed her eyes. "You from around here?" That one caught me off guard. I gave a small shrug. "Used to be." "Well," she said, arms folding, "we've had a few issues with behavior in the store, just making sure you're not wasting time." My mouth went dry. "Wasting time? I'm buying something," I said. "Right. Well, if you're not serious about shopping, I'll have to ask you to leave." Just like that. No explanation, no cause, no shame, though. I looked at the bulbs in my hand, looked back at her. I wanted to argue, wanted to make a scene, but I didn't. I just nodded once, calm, controlled, and walked out. Her eyes followed me all the way to the door. I sat in my car for a minute, hands on the wheel, heart tight. I wasn't surprised, not really. I'd seen worse. But something about the casual way she did it stuck in my chest like a nail, like she thought it was her duty, like she was proud of it. I looked across the lot at the faded brick building, the old wood trim, the dusty windows, and I smiled because she had no idea who I was. See, 3 months ago, I bought this store, not just the building, the whole thing, property, inventory, back office. It had gone up for sale after the original owner, Mr. Carter, passed away. He'd been a friend of my granddad. I remember running around his workshop as a kid. When I heard the place was on the market, I made the call the same day. Didn't even haggle on the price. Some things are worth full value. I hadn't introduced myself to the staff yet. The paperwork was finalized last week. I figured I'd show up next Monday, make it official. But after that, no way I was waiting. I dialed the realtor, asked if he'd sent the internal announcement. He said no. They were still preparing onboarding documents for the employees. Perfect. I told him I'd handle it myself. That same afternoon, I called my lawyer, asked him to email over the ownership confirmation and business license. Then I printed it, put it in a folder, and returned to the store the next morning. Same hoodie, same jeans, just a folder in hand. The woman at the counter was rearranging paint cans. She didn't recognize me at first, probably didn't even remember kicking me out. She glanced up, frowned. You again? I smiled. Yeah, thought I'd come back. Got something to show you. I placed the folder on the counter. She didn't touch it. Look, I already told you. Open it. My voice was still calm, but firmer. She hesitated, then flipped it open. I watched her face change. Confusion, then disbelief, then something closer to panic. That's, yeah, I nodded. I'm the new owner. Names on every page. Transferred last Friday. Silence stretched between us. You could hear the buzz of the ceiling fan. I let it sink in, let her feel it. I came in yesterday just to walk the floor, to see how things were running. She swallowed hard. You didn't say, didn't think I had to. Her mouth opened, closed. No words came out. I leaned slightly closer. Here's the thing. I don't need an apology. I need your badge. She blinked. What? Your employee badge. You are done here. Her jaw dropped. You can't be serious. I tilted my head. You kicked out the owner of the building for no reason. Lied about my behavior. Blocked me from purchasing. That's a lawsuit if I wanted it to be. I'm just letting you walk away clean. She went pale, reached slowly into her apron, pulled out the badge, set it down without a word. You can collect your things, I said, but I want you out by noon. She left without another word, head down, shoulders tight. No one else in the store said anything. They just stared, silent, watching it all unfold. I didn't yell, didn't threaten. I didn't need to. The facts spoke louder than I ever could. After she was gone, I stood there a minute, took a breath, then walked the aisles slowly. Remembered where the hammers used to hang, where my granddad showed me how to find the right size screw. It felt right, like something had come full circle. By the afternoon, I called a meeting with the staff. Some were confused, a few nervous. I stood in front of the break room fridge and said it plain. My name's Darren Hayes, I'm the new owner. I grew up 5 blocks from here. This store meant something to me, and I'm here to make it better, not just for customers, for the people who work here too. One of the guys, older, wiry, raised his hand. Why didn't you say something yesterday? I looked at him. Because I wanted to see how people treat strangers. Turns out I got my answer. Nobody spoke after that. Just nods. A few looks of guilt. A few of relief. I kept most of the staff. Trained them better. Paid them better. Made it clear that we treat every person who walks through those doors with dignity. Doesn't matter how they're dressed, what they look like, where they're from. This place, my place now, would be different. Word spread fast about the woman, about me, about what happened. And for once, it wasn't just gossip. It was a reminder, a warning, a lesson. You never know who you're talking to. Never know who someone will become. So treat people right, always. Because disrespect can cost you a lot more than your job. It can cost you your name, your reputation, your seat at the table, and sometimes even the building you thought you ran. So next time you feel like judging someone who walks in wearing old sneakers or a hoodie, pause, because they might own the floor you're standing on.